Welcome to Dead Eye Wargaming. I'm Graham.
I'm Kenneth.
And tonight we're going to show you how to play Warhammer 40K.
Welcome to Dead Eye Wargaming. Hello, today we're going to be talking about how to play Warhammer 40,000. Before we get started, I'm going to read a wee passage from the mini rulebook explaining what Warhammer 40,000 is. Warhammer 40,000 is set in a savage future age where mankind must battle for survival in a galaxy riven by destruction and bloodshed. It is a time when the power-armoured Space Marines and the uncontrollable numbers of the Imperial Guard must stand against the slavering hordes of alien warriors. The Warhammer 40,000 game puts you in command of a futuristic army of infantry squads, powerful fighting vehicles, mighty heroes, and even monstrous alien creatures. These armies of miniatures do battle over your tabletop, floor, or any large area enough to contain the warring forces. You'll have realised by now that Warhammer 40,000 differs from normal games. There are unlimited possibilities and players must be prepared to spend a lot of time and effort collecting, assembling and painting their models and setting up their battlefields. If all this sounds like hard work, you're right, it is. Glory in the battlefields of the far future is not won lightly. So there is a brief introduction of what Warhammer 40,000 is. Now, before we get started, we're going to talk about where to start. If you're interested in Warhammer 40,000, how can you get started quickly and cheaply? So, stay tuned.
Now that you know what 40k is, the best way to get started would probably be to buy Assault and Black Reach. Basically what you get your rulebook, dice, your templates, your book on how to play, and you get a set of Space Marines and a set of Orcs. So you can start playing straight away. Black Reach, there's no real assembly needed, they just clip together, and you can really get started quite quickly. Best way to buy it though, it's quite expensive. If you go hampers with a friend, it's probably the handiest way. It's more cost effective, and that'll get you started.
Okay, here we have the Assault and Black Reach box. We went into a little detail before, but now we're going to go in the box. We're not physically getting in the box, but anyway, I'm getting sidetracked. We're going to go over what's included in this set. Okay, so as you can see, Assault and Black Reach box. Really cool artwork there. So, first off, you will receive an Assault and Black Reach how to playbook. Read this first, very important. Goes over all the basic rules, but not to worry. With Dead Eye Wargaming, we'll go over each phase separately. It's not to confuse everybody. So, back on track here. What's in this book? At the start, brief introduction to Warhammer 40,000. Few basic different armies that can be collected. The next page is what you get in the box, but we'll go over that in more detail soon. The assembly, basic paint schemes, which is pretty nifty for just starting off anyway, it's not too difficult. Although you will need to buy your paint separately because you don't get any paints in it, but they're not too expensive anyway. Okay, more overview of what's in the Space Marine army. Same for the Orcs. Your first game tells you what you need, how to set up your first battle. Basically the basic layout, but again, we'll go over it. Tells you all the different rules. Okay, in this page here it goes over the different units that's included in the Black Reach box for the Space Marines. Gives you all their stats. I know it looks a bit daunting at first, but not to worry, we'll help you with that. We'll just go over everything with you. The different weapons that they have. Basically you see the wee models painted. Same for the Orcs here. Sorry for the out of focus, kind of too close to the page. How to expand your forces. the codexes and stuff, but we'll go over that more later. Wee picture of the wee battle going on here with the Black Reach set. And then at the back of the book, it gives you a brief overview of the universe and all the different armies that are available to collect. Now, in this book here, it is a mini rulebook. It contains all the necessary knowledge you need to play. The normal codexes are about that thick. Usually cost about 35 pound. But this here is excellent for starters because I'm not going to go over the whole book because it's too much to know. Basically, it gives you an overview of each phase, different rules on terrain, armor saves, etc., etc. But we'll try and minimize this phase as much as we can, just to make it easier for yourselves to play. You also get your templates. This one belongs to the fantasy box set. But anyway, your basic templates: small blast marker, large blast marker, and your flamer template. Looks like a smiley face. But yeah, we'll go over what these do later on. You get 10 to 12 normal dice with the scatter dice, which is for your your missiles and other ordnance weapons, but we'll go over more detail with that too. These aren't the dice you get. They're snazzy looking, but you don't get them. They usually just get the wee white dice. You need a tape measure, but in the Black Reach set, you get 2 red measuring sticks, 12 inches long. It's used for measuring movement, shooting, etc. But to be honest, you'll need to just get a tape measure. They're not too expensive. You can get one for about £2, £2-3, depending on where you get it. A cheap one will do, as long as it measures. Okay, now that you know what's in the box, that'll be enough to get you started. So now we're going to explain how to play. Go through each phase and explain as best we can to help you get started in the epic game of Warhammer 40,000. Now, what's in an army? Basically what you have first is your HQ. He's going to be the one with the best stats and the best war gear available to the army. Here we have Big Mech. No, it's just the war boss, sorry. He's the HQ choice you get with the Black Reach box. Here we have a squad of 20 boys. Now, as you can see, that's a lot of models, and that's just the one unit. These are troop choice. These are basically they're the foundation of your army, the troop choices. They're the ones that's going to be doing all the work, the fighting and capturing objectives and stuff. The knobs are elite choices. They're the toughest of your army. They have access to some of the best gear, but not all of it. But you get 5 knobs in this orc starter set. You get the 20 boys, the war boss, and 3 death copters. They're fast attack. They can move up to 18 inches or 24 inches flat out. Basically, they're best used for outflanking and taking down vehicles. Now, of the Space Marine army, as you can see, the comparison to both armies is there's more orcs. The reason being, as you see here, the 10 tactical marines, they all have power armor. Basically, the second best armor in the game, I would say. Basically, they are tougher and they can take a lot more damage than the orcs can. They have basically access to the best war gear in the game. So they're the Space Marine troop choice, you get 10 of them. You have your standard HQ, which is a Space Marine captain. Basically, he's a power weapon, which basically ignores armor saves, but we'll get more into that. Here are the Space Marines elite choice, the Terminators. They have the best armor in the game, some of the most deadliest weapons as well. And here we have a Space Marine Dreadnought. They follow the same rules as these, which we'll go into, but they're able to carry heavier weaponry. The most like rocket launchers, heavy flamers, basically everything that's needed to take down like your opponent. So yeah, as you can see, like as I said before, there are a lot more orcs, but it is quite an even match.